Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bigger Than Race, exposure to all things truth, whether you like it or not, with unique perspectives from different beings from all walks of life. This is Bigger Than Race. Investigate truth on your own terms. Have you ever heard of the term predictive programming? Well, if you haven't, in this video I'm going to explain exactly that, and I'm going to show you examples of it as well. Now, welcome back to Bigger Than Race. Firstly, I'm sure some of you have heard the term of predictive programming. And if you haven't, predictive programming is something that you hear or see in TV shows, movies, magazines, on the radio station. It's things that you may not even think are real, or you may not even be cognitive of what they're even saying at that time. But a lot of times, it's things that are going to happen in the future, near term or midterm or long term. And you'll see these things all of the time. And you'll go back to watch other movies, other TV shows from the past that predict the future. They say if you want to know the future, you must go back to the past. You've heard of the movie Back to the Future, and that's exactly what they did. They went back to the past to get the future, a glimpse of the future. Now, I'm going to show you how many things have been predicted in our lifetime back in the day. Let's just go back to 2016, where they predicted this pandemic that recently happened in 2020. They gave it to you T by T on a TV show. And here's a clip of it right now. Now, as you can see in that video clip, they predicted the pandemic that we know as the C word. That's right. Corona, not the beer. You know exactly what I'm talking about. They told you what it was. They told you how it was going to play out. And if we fast forward and look back to where we just came from, those same events that they predictively programmed us to believe and to get ready for played out in our existence, played out in our reality, in our existence. So, with that being said, I want you to have a keen eye on certain television shows, certain movies, anything that they put out in front of us. Please believe they are bringing us to that destination. You can look at certain movies like Avatar, or even The Matrix, or even Limitless. Things of technology. If they're showing you technology on movies, please believe we have that technology behind the scenes. Now, recently, there's a conference going on called Davos. This is where all of the leaders from all over the world come together, and they pretty much predict and set up the new foundation of our new realities going forward into the future. And now they're leading us in conversing about the fourth industrial revolution, where robots, algorithms, drones will take us over. We'll be going into the metaverse. Artificial intelligence will be playing a major role in that new world. But in order for us to get there, another pandemic has to happen. And they have been predictively programming us and telling us about this pandemic all along. But many people are not aware of it, and it's slipping right underneath their nose. And it's called the cyber attack. Cyber attacks are going to happen. They're already happening. And they're gearing us up for this next catastrophic event. In the next video clip that I'm going to show you, you'll see these power players at Davos telling you exactly what is getting ready to happen. Most people don't watch or pay attention to the Davos conferences because they're sheep. But I'm here to lead you to the wealth of information that can help set you free. Take a look.
We're here today to share the findings of the World Economic Forum's Global Security Outlook Report 2023. This is a result of research in collaboration with the forum's communities and our partner Accenture, in which we've interviewed and sought input from over 300 executives globally. The most striking finding that we found is that 93% of cyber leaders and 86% of cyber business leaders believe that the geopolitical instability makes a catastrophic cyber event likely in the next 2 years.
Now, as you can see, the power players from all over the globe have come together and they have been telling you about this cyber attack. Not only them, but Klaus Schwab has also been telling you about the false industrial revolution. Look at him tell you about it as well.
We all know, but still pay insufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospital services, our society as a whole. The COVID-19 crisis would be seen in this respect as a small disturbance in comparison to a major cyber attack. To use the COVID-19 crisis as a timely opportunity to reflect on the lessons the cybersecurity community can draw and improve our preparedness for a potential cyber pandemic.
Now, you don't have to believe me. You don't have to listen to me. But one thing you can't do is ignore the truth. You can try to ignore it, but one day it's going to come back to your reality and you're going to think back to this very video of me in this light blue shirt of mine speaking all this truth from my handsome face. And you'll see if you weren't prepared, it will be at your own demise. Now, if I were you, I would start to take money out of the bank and put it in a decentralized wallet utilizing cryptocurrency, blockchain technology. You can still have the US dollar on the blockchain, but it will be yours. Just like the fastest runner in the world, he just recently lost $12 million. And here's the article right here. Usain Bolt bolted out of his money in Bank of America. And people all over the world are starting to have issues with Bank of America.
That you have to diversify. Anyways, y'all go ahead and check out these videos.
So I'm a Bank of America and everybody's missing money. I'm also missing money over $1,300 and they're telling me to call customer service. And they keep hanging up on people. This another person here is also missing money. So we're trying to see what's going on. Money's missing today and we need our money. And they're already telling us to call customer service. And customer service ain't doing nothing about it. So just a heads up, if anybody's experiencing this, please let us know because this is not right. I'm missing $1,400 from my account, and they're telling me that there's no way they can help us. This guy's missing money too. This other person missing money too. And you missing money too? There you go. So this is not something that's just one person. This is everybody's happening to them. And this is crazy. This is very crazy. Yes, Bank of America decided to take people's money without their consent. And we're asking what's going on, and they're giving us a runaround. Everybody for the same thing, man. Same thing.
Bank of America and Zelle are now blaming each other for a technical glitch that had customers missing money from their accounts. Bank of America says the issue has been resolved, attributing it to an issue with the Zelle app. But Zelle is blaming the bank, saying there was no issue with its platform. ABC News business reporter Alexis Christoforous is here with more on this. Alexis, what do we know at this point about what and how this happened?
Yeah, they're playing the blame game, and who gets hurt in all this is the customer, right? So a really scary and frustrating day for lots of Bank of America customers. Imagine logging onto your account and seeing that money is missing. In some instances, there were negative balances. So as you can imagine, these people ran to the bank for answers. They didn't get any, so they lit up social media. They said they were calling the bank. No one was answering their calls. Some people stormed the branches. There was one person who tweeted, "I almost lost my mind when I saw $2,000 was missing from my account. Not accepting calls because of extenuating circumstances is insane. Call me." And that's when the blame game started. So Bank of America blaming a technical glitch at the payment platform Zelle for the vanishing funds. But Zelle was quick to put the blame back on the bank, saying the issue was not the result of any issues with the Zelle Zelle network. The good news is by yesterday afternoon, Bank of America said all the funds were back and they thought everything was okay. But I'll tell you what, this is a confidence crisis that they're going through right now. And a lot of customers are still steaming mad.
Today, thousands of Bank of America customers and Zelle users reported money had been taken out of their accounts. The banking chain says that as of this evening, that issue has been resolved. Don Hood joining us live now after speaking with the Chesterfield County woman. And John, has she gotten her money back yet?
Yeah, hey, Mickey. Well, it's a little more complicated than that. The woman I spoke with tonight says she woke up this morning with $1,000 missing from her bank account. Tonight, she's just hoping to see all of that money return.
No, they're just disappointed because there wasn't an email stating that this was a problem.
Ellen Holman says for more than 20 years, she's been a customer with Bank of America and has never had an issue like this one before.
I realized that there was money missing, and now I just didn't know. I don't know where it is.
Holman says she woke up Wednesday morning to money missing from her account. Her first instinct was to call Bank of America, but she says no one ever got back to her.
The message that I received was, due to circumstances, we can't take your call. Call back. And that was this morning around 7:30.
She said she then told her daughter about the issue, who later told her mom it's not only happening to her.
Mommy, you are not the only one. It's all over Twitter. Other people's money is missing. I'm like, what?
According to downdetector.com, a website that manages disruptions to services, there were more than 1,200 reports of issues with Bank of America's site. The bank later sent out a notification to some customers saying Zelle transactions made between January 14th and January 17th may be delayed in occurring and posting to accounts as requested, and went on to apologize for the inconvenience. Holman says she's frustrated because she never received that message and uses Zelle with Bank of America for her childcare business.
Those are payments from the daycare parents, and they Zelle it to me into my business account, and then I wake up and it's not there.
I reached out to Bank of America, who says the issue has been resolved and are working to make sure clients receive their funds. However, Holman says once her money is returned, she's thinking about leaving her bank.
Well, you may have noticed it lately. Many banks closing branches as more customers bank online and fewer go into the bank in person. But for one East Bay man, it caused a mild panic, actually. The Bank of America shut down his branch just hours after he made a huge deposit and his money disappeared. So you can imagine how worried he was. So he came to 7 on Your Side's Michael Finney, as so many people do, to find out what to do, Michael.
Yeah, it's hard to believe this story happened at a major bank.
Yeah,
this viewer deposited $33,000 through a teller at a Bank of America in Oakland, and hours later, the branch shut down. His deposit never got posted, and everybody kept telling him, sorry, there's nothing we can do.
And I said, you're telling me that Bank of America lost $33,000 of my money, and you're telling me right here to my face there's nothing you can do? That's right, sir.
It was like a bad dream, except it was real.
I started to think I may not see the money ever.
Brian Leonard deposited $33,000 into his account at Bank of America. Then it disappeared.
Nobody said, we'll find out where the money is, we'll make good on it, we'll take care of it. There was none of that.
It all began here in Brian's kitchen.
My wife and I are in the midst of a big kitchen remodel.
Brian had to pay the contractor and needed to transfer $33,000 from his account at Wells Fargo to his account at B of A. He brought a cashier's check straight to the teller at B of A so it would clear right away.
And she said it would post that afternoon or next morning at the latest.
However, when he checked his account the next day, the money was not there. He called B of A, and it was not good news.
The woman said that there was no record of the transaction, so as far as she was concerned, no transaction happened.
Brian drove back to the bank and got another surprise. B of A had shut down that branch just hours after he had made his big deposit.
When I realized the branch that was closed and the teller that took my $33,000 cashier's check is nowhere to be found, my heart sank into my stomach. I feel like I just saw a boat leaving dock and my money is on the boat.
Brian went to another branch, only to find the doors locked there, too.
So that's when I started to get very nervous. It's just like, wait a second, the branches are closing. The people that I've had contact with, gone.
He went to a third branch. It was open, and the manager didn't help.
He said there's no record of the transaction, so there was nothing he could do.
Brian showed him the cashier's check and deposit receipt, proof of the missing money.
And I said, well, you're the manager. Can you escalate the issue? He says, no, there's nothing I can do.
Brian says everyone at B of A kept telling him that.
There was nothing he could do. There was nothing that she could do. He said, there's nothing I can do. So there was nothing he could do. They kept repeating, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do about that. It was kind of Kafka-esque.
But there was something Brian could do. He contacted the bank's CEO, the federal government, and 7 on your side.
That ball started moving very quickly.
B of A tells us the problem arose because the cashier's check was made out to Bank of America, not Brian, and it delayed the process. B of A didn't say why no one helped Brian track down his money until now.
Bank of America contacted me and they said, we are going to give you $33,000 immediately. 7 on your side. You were on it from the get-go. And so, thank you.
You're welcome. That's what we do here. Now, look, this story is a great reminder. Keep your receipts. Bank of America did not comment on whether the shutdown of that branch may have caused a problem with the deposit, but says it's a temporary closure. This is one of hundreds of bank branches to close nationwide over the past year, and we're starting to hear more and more problems related to these shutdowns. And what concerns me, too, is you have receipts and they mean nothing?
So if I were you, I would start to listen to what I'm saying and start to move accordingly. Because if you don't,